why don't you start, tell them a little bit about yourself, and we'll have the flag when people keep time on you, and they'll shut you up.
All right. I am George Gilmore. I live here in Clare. I am a graduate. I have both my bachelor's and master's degree in agri-science education from Michigan State University. I taught agri-science and was the FFA advisor in Clare for 20 years. I have been there for 33 years. I currently teach biology and am the science department chairperson. My wife and I have been married for 37 years. We have 5 children and 7 grandchildren. We are members of the Clare Church of the Nazarene. I also am a small business owner here in Clare and have my builder's license. My primary concerns, of course, in the state of Michigan is agriculture and education. Those are my 2 areas of expertise, and I would hope that we can get Michigan back on track. They keep referring to agriculture as our #2 industry. I think agriculture will always be our #1 industry. As long as we continue to eat, live in houses, and wear clothes, I think that has to be #1. Thank you.
And what are you running?
Running for state representative. 97th district.
Is it 97? Okay. But we all are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. 97.
Ready? He was taking notes, so it's... My name is Kim Emmons. I also am a resident of Clare County here. I'm running as a conservative on the Republican ticket. I've been married for 12 years. My husband Brian is a registered nurse. He helps me keep kind of on the pulse of things going on with healthcare and issues and things like that. Personally, I have 3 children. My youngest is 5. My little boy is 6, going to be 7 in a couple weeks. So I have an interest in education. Personally, primary education, because of my 2 little guys going through. My oldest, though, is 24, living in Grand Rapids, and putting himself through college. So I have a broader interest in education because of that. I also have part of my background in special ed, so that is an all-around subject that's very near and dear to my heart. I think that when you guys hear all these candidates speak, and I won't begin to talk for any of them, but you're going to hear a lot of different varieties, a lot of different interests, and different backgrounds, and I think that that's something very healthy about this process. And not all of us have a background in agriculture, but we all have an interest in making things better and giving up part of our lives to do so. And that's why we're all here. And I know personally I appreciate an opportunity to talk with you and answer your questions and give you that chance to get to know me a little bit better, because I am very driven to make things better and serve all of the residents of the state, no matter what their background is.
Good evening, my name is Tim Barnum. I'm a 26-year-old Democrat from the city of Standish. I grew up in small towns and rural areas just like all those across the district, whether you're talking Aranac, Northern Bay, or all the way out here to Clare. I graduated from CMU in 2006 and thought, well, here's my chance to go out there and make something of myself. And I came home and ended up actually falling back in love with the small town feel. They have great people and great values. I'm hoping to bring some of that small town rural appeal down to Lansing if elected. I have a little bit of a background in agriculture. My first job was actually on a dairy farm in Twining, Michigan. I started there when I was 14 and worked there for a couple of years. And I also had a little bit of experience with agriculture in high school. As a junior, I was a FFA state champion in demonstration, something I'm quite proud of. And I'm running because I think we need someone who can look long-term and not just fill the budget for this year with a tax increase at the last second or cuts across the board. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Mark Lightfoot. First of all, I want to thank Grant Township for allowing us to have this meeting here. I'd like to thank the panel for putting it together for us and all the citizens that have turned out. I'm a retired firefighter from the city of Saginaw. I'm a veteran from the U.S. Navy, spent 4 years in the military. I'm a small business owner. For the last 14 years, I've owned and operated the Swiss Inn in Lake George. I employ 16 employees. I know what it's like every day to deal with the issues of running a business, making payroll, struggling to make payroll meet, sometimes having to not get a paycheck at all. I am a township supervisor, which I've been a township supervisor for 14 years. Again, we've met budget for those 14 years. In the past 9 years, 9 of those 14 years, we have reduced our budget without jeopardizing any services or benefits to the members of our community. I carry a loud voice. I don't know how many of you have ever reached a point where you've written a letter, you've sent an email, you've made a phone call, you've done something because you're frustrated or you're fed up with something that has happened. I'm at that point. I'm beyond that point. I've done all of those. I believe it's time that somebody with some common sense goes to Lansing, speaks for us, for the people of Mid-Michigan. We have to have a voice for us and not special interest groups. And that's the main reason that I'm going there. I'm a strong advocate for small business. I believe that small business is the quick fix for jobs in our area. Sure, we need the General Motors and the battery plants and the things of that nature. But if we can bring small businesses, make small businesses easier to open up in this area, it's a quick fix right now. We can put people to work together immediately. I spent a little time going over, waiting for my wife to have her nails done one day. It was going through my head, figuring out the taxes, the fees, the license permits, and the things that I have to have or do as an owner of a restaurant. And I have a list I'll provide it later if anybody wants to see it. There's 45 different license, permits, fees, and expenses that I have to pay to the government or county or township before I can even open my door. We have got to eliminate the majority of those. We've got to make it easier for business to be able to prosper here in Michigan, and that's one of the main reasons why I'm going.